Alrighty, second graders. So now is time for the part about our art part, right? So this is the part of the day where you guys get to draw. Okay, so for this part of the project, how we did it here at school is each of the students got one of these handouts with a whole bunch of different Adinkra symbols on them. Sorry for the drawing on them. Some kids got a little carried away. But what we did is each student got one of these handouts and then they selected whatever symbols they wanted to draw. And then they practice drew about 3 to 5 different ones that they liked. So they picked some of their favorites, practice draw some of them, and then picked their favorites. So I want you guys to do the same thing. The only thing is I'm going to have you guys follow the same rule they did. You may not choose the heart, which is love. 2 reasons for that. One, it's way too easy, okay? There are plenty other ones that are not too hard, like this ladder one, this one with a triangle on top of a circle, this one of a diamond, right? Not all of them are super hard. Also, I like it when you challenge yourself, okay? And then the other reason is because the heart is also a symbol in our culture. So it's not that new or unique for us. So I would like you guys, you can go ahead and pause this video and practice drawing 3 to 5 of them, okay? And then pick your favorite. And then once you have picked your favorite, draw it another time so that it's really, really good, and then go ahead and press play on the video, okay? So go ahead and press pause. All right, welcome back, guys. Now what we are going to do is, okay, so here at school we have these foam squares. If you don't have a foam square, this is obviously something that I bought at an art supplies place. You can use a styrofoam plate or those styrofoam trays that come with like your broccoli on them at Leppinks. I know last night I went to Leppinks, I bought some Brussels sprouts, some broccoli, and they come on these styrofoam trays. And you can just cut a square out of that tray, and it works just fine. But if you don't have that, a styrofoam plate will work, or if you don't have any of that stuff, and you can't go out and buy it, I totally understand. If you can come into school, I can put together a kit for you. I can even put this Adinkra cloth symbols chart in your kit. I can put the foam in your kit. I can put some paper in your kit. And even if you don't have markers or an ink pen, I can put all of that in a kit for you guys and you can just keep it, okay? So please, please, please don't let the fact that you don't have these supplies at home stop you from doing this project, because it's so much fun. You are not going to want to miss out, okay? So let me help you. Okay, so what I did is I already cut my paper to be the same size as my foam. If you, obviously, rulers and paper cutters may not be something that you have access to, what I would do is just take a piece of paper, take your foam square or even a circle, okay? Like if you use a styrofoam plate, like we did for Dot Day, right? Maybe you have some of those left over. That will work just fine too. A circle will work just as good as a square. And then what I did is I just traced around it. So if it's a circle, it's gonna work the same way, right? Just trace around it. And then you want to draw your symbol one more time inside that square. So any symbol you want, just go ahead and pick one that you like, draw it inside that square, and then you can go ahead and you can cut it out. So see how I already have this one. I traced the square, I drew my symbol inside it. Now my next step would be to cut it out on that line. Then you are going to tape it to your foam square. So I know it's kind of hard to see, but I have tape across here, just across the top, not all on 4 sides, because you want to be able to lift it. And then you guys can see a little preview of what we're doing next. But tape it on the foam, okay, so that it doesn't wiggle, it stays put, but it's only taped on one side. Then you're going to go ahead and take an ink pen, And I found that an ink pen works best because ink pens have a ball in the end, and so they roll around really nicely. I have tried it using pencils. I've tried it using like these plastic needles. I've tried it using like wooden like toothpicks that you use for like shish kebab skewers. But I always come back to the pen. The pen seems to be the smoothest way to do it. And then all you have to do is trace over your design with the pen. And it's okay if it rips the paper. If you look at mine, you can see it's ripping the paper. That's probably a good sign that it is pressing hard enough. The biggest mistake that I see with this project is that students do not press their lines in deep enough. Your goal is to have your design pressed into the foam. So just like the Adinkra cloth, the Ashanti people carved their designs into the calabash gourds, we are kind of like carving into the foam. You don't want to go so crazy that it's like poking lots of holes in the back, but if it pokes through a little bit here and there, it's going to be just fine. It's better to have it poke through a little bit too much than to not have it pressed in deep enough, and then the next time we come back, your prints will not work out as well. Okay, so this is actually the last thing that we are going to do for today. I know that didn't seem like a whole lot, but it's going to take you quite a bit of time. Because you don't have all the steps speeded up like I do here, okay? So first step, if you have not done it already, is to practice draw 3 to 5 of these different designs. Pick one favorite, draw it on your piece of paper, and then tape your paper to your foam, and then retrace your design so that it carves into the foam. Make sure that even when you close your eyes and rub your hands over the foam, you can feel those grooves. If it just feels like a smooth piece of foam, then you didn't do it well. Or if it's hard to feel the design, you didn't do it well, okay? It should really be pushed in there, okay? Really carve your design into the foam. And then next week when you come back, we are going to print. To print, we need markers, washable, regular markers. Crayola, Crazy Art, anything is fine, just your normal, regular markers. But you will need markers for this. So if you don't have them at home and you can't go out and buy any, please let me know and I will put them in your kit with the foam and everything else that you need. So if you don't have all the supplies to do this project, please, please, please email me. I will get a kit together and I will put it in the elementary office for you to come and pick up. That is not a problem at all. I have cut extra squares. I've picked up a couple packs of markers extra. I've printed off extras of these Adinkra cloth symbols. So please, 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 I want you to do this project with us. It's so much fun. You are not going to want to miss out, okay? Alrighty, that's it. As always, take a picture, show me what you got. Can't wait to see it. And that way I can check to see if you made any mistakes or anything like that. If you want to do a video, if you want to send me a video or take pictures of what you did, please show me so that I can catch any mistakes early so that you guys are ready to print next week. Alrighty, guys, talk to you later.